Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Hello students and welcome to your complete guide for the National Talent Search 2025 exam. If you are in class 8, 9 or 10 and aiming for this prestigious scholarship, you have come to the right place. The National Talent Search exam is divided into two distinct parts. Part 1, the Mental Ability Test or MAT. This section is designed to test your reasoning and problem solving skills. Part 2, the Scholastic Aptitude Test or SAT. This section evaluates your subject-specific knowledge. Let's begin by decoding the first component, the Mental Ability Test. The Mental Ability Test is designed to assess your higher order thinking skills. It goes beyond textbook knowledge to evaluate your ability to think critically, reason logically, and solve complex problems. Skills that are crucial for success in any academic field. This section is divided into two types of reasoning, verbal and non-verbal reasoning. Verbal reasoning tests your ability to think logically using words and language. Let's explore the key topics one by one with examples. The first one is the analogy. In an analogy, you find the relationship between two words and apply the same relationship to find the missing pair. An alphabet test. The test is based on the position of letters in the English alphabet. Third one is the classification, that is finding the odd one out. Here you will find which word doesn't belong to that group. Fourth one, puzzle test. You need to analyze given information and arrange it logically. Fifth one is the logical Venn diagrams. You represent relationship between groups using circles. Sixth one is the blood relations. These problems test your understanding of family relationships. Seventh is the series. You will find out the missing terms in a sequence of letters or numbers. Verification of statements. You will check whether a statement is logically follows from the given facts. Ninth one, logical sequence of words. You need to arrange the words in a logical or natural order. And 10th one is coding, decoding. Words are coded with letters or numbers in pattern. Problems on clocks. You solve questions on time, angles and mirror images of clocks. Direction sense test. You determine direction or travel. Analytical reasoning. You analyze conditions and deduce relationships. 14th one, series completion test. You need to find out the missing term that continues the pattern. 15th, mathematical operations. Here, mathematical symbols are interchanged or used in code form. Arithmetic reasoning. Questions involve numerical logic. Inserting a missing character. Find the missing symbol or number in pattern. These are the most common verbal reasoning topics you will face in exams. Practice each type regularly. The key is to spot patterns and relationship quickly. And the next category is non-verbal reasoning. Non-verbal reasoning uses images, figures and diagrams to test your problem solving skills. The syllabus for this part include, first one is the classification, that is odd one out. In classification, you will find the odd figures that doesn't belong to the group. And you need to look out the differences in shape, number of sides, shading or orientation. Second one is analogy. In analogy, you find the relationship between two figures and apply the same to find the missing ones. And as a tip, you can follow the changes in shape, rotation, size or number of elements. In series questions, figures follow a pattern or sequence. You must find the next or missing figure. For these questions, you need to observe the changes in position, rotation, shading or number of shapes. Transparent paper folding. These questions show a folded paper with designs. You must identify how it looks when unfolded. Imagine mirror reflections when unfolding. Dot fixing situation. A few dots are placed randomly. You need to find which figure among the options can be drawn by connecting the dots. Check whether all edges and corners match the given dot as a tip. Embedded figures. In these questions, a small figure is hidden inside a larger one and you must locate it. And to identify this question, you need to focus on outlines and overlapping shapes. Analytical reasoning. This tests your ability to analyze complex figures logically. To do this question, break large figure into smaller parts and count logically. Problems on cubes and dice. These test spatial visualization, how you imagine 3D subjects in different positions. Remember, sum of opposite faces on a dice equal to 7 in standard dice. Water images. A water image is a vertical reflection of a figure. Look in a water. Don't flip sideways, flip vertical only. Paper folding and cutting. You are shown a folded paper being cut and you must find out the pattern after unfolding. As a tip, for each folding doubles the pattern when opened. If a paper folded in half is cut with the triangle shape, when unfolded you will see two triangles symmetrically placed. And this is an example for your reference. Incomplete figures. In these questions, you will find the missing part that completes a figure logically. As a tip, you can match the edges, angles and line continuity. Non-verbal reasoning tests how you think visually, not just with words but with shapes, patterns and logic. To master it, practice with diagrams daily and focus on observation, imagination and symmetry. Now we have covered the reasoning based math section. Let's move on to the knowledge based part of the exam, that is the scholastic aptitude test. The SAT is where your consistent effort in the classroom pays off. It's designed to reward students who built strong foundation in their core subjects, turning your school syllabus into your biggest strength for this exam. The SAT is composed of 5 distinct subjects and you can expect exactly 10 questions from each, making up a total of 50 questions in this section. Let's break down the syllabus for each of the 5 subjects. Under mathematics, you will cover all the essential topics like number systems to probability with sample examples to make every concept crystal clear. Let's get started. Number system. The number system includes natural numbers, whole numbers, integers, rational and irrational numbers. Algebraic expressions. These are expressions that include variables, numbers and operations. So you will get questions like simplify. You need to combine like terms while simplifying. Linear and quadratic equations. Equations express equality. A linear equation has degree 1 while a quadratic has degree 2. For quadratic usage, use factorization or the formula. Arithmetic. This includes the basic operations, addition, subtraction, multiplication and division, and the topics like ratios, average and time distance problems will be covered. Apply formulas carefully and always check units while doing the arithmetic. Percentage and its applications. Percentage means per 100 used in profit, loss and discounts. You need to cover the percentage into fractions for quick calculation. Next is the simple and compound interest. These measures how money grows over time. You need to remember the formulas of simple interest and the compound interest. Coordinate geometry. This branch uses XY coordinates to represent points on a plane. Always use the distance formula to work out this problem. Basic geometry. Geometry deals with shapes, angles and measurements. Remember the circumference of the circle and the formula of the circle and the area while doing this problem. Mensuration. It covers the surface area and volume. Mensuration help calculate area, surface area and volume of 2D as well as the 3D shapes. Trigonometry connect angles and sides of the right angle using 6 ratios. Remember the sin theta, cos theta and the tan theta. Statistics deals with data collection and interpretation. You need to remember the mean, median and mode while doing this statistics. Probability measures the chance of an event occurring. These are the key maths area you will face in exams. From simple numbers to complex geometry, practice a few problems every day and soon you will find math easy, logical and fun. We'll explore the key topics from physics, chemistry and biology, concepts that help us understand how the world around us works. Let's dive into each topic with simple examples. Motion and force, which means the change of position with time, and force is what causes the changes. Remember formulas like speed and force. Work and energy. Work is done when the force moves an object, and energy is the ability to do work. Remember the potential energy and the kinetic energy. Light. Study reflection, refraction and image formation by mirrors and lenses. Magnetism and electricity. Learn about electromagnets, electric circuits and magnetic field lines. Structures of atom. Atoms are the building blocks of matter made up of protons, neutrons and electrons. Atomic number equal to number of protons, mass number equal to protons plus neutrons. Remember the basic concepts in this topic. Carbon and its compounds. Carbon forms a huge variety of compounds because it bonds with many elements. Learn about hydrocarbons, functional groups and organic compounds. Metals and nonmetals. Learn uses and reactions of metals with acids, water and oxygen. Acids, bases and salts. Remember indicators like litmus paper, phenolphthalein and turmeric, and remember the basic concepts behind this. Cellular level of organization. Remember cell, tissue, organ, system, organisms and all living organisms are made of cells, the basic unit of life. Human body. The human body is a complex system working together to keep us alive. The system includes digestive system, respiratory, circulatory, nervous and excretory. Learn the functions of organs and how systems interact. Hereditary and evaluation. Hereditary is the passing of traits from parents to offspring, and evaluation explains how life changes over time. You need to understand the genes, chromosomes and variations. Microorganisms. Microorganisms are tiny living things, some helpful and some harmful. So you need to remember the types of bacteria, virus, fungus, protozoa, algae, and remember the uses in medicine, fermentation and nitrogen fixation. These physics, chemistry and biology topics form the foundation of science. Understand them help you to explain everyday phenomena from glowing bulb to breathing lungs. Keep exploring, keep questioning and let science make sense of the world around you. This section covers history, civics and geography. You should focus on the topics such as Indus Valley Civilization, one of the world's earliest civilizations, the Indus Valley Civilization, flourished around 2500 BCE in modern-day India and Pakistan. You need to remember the urban planning and sanitation were key features, and you need to remember the cities like Harappa and Mohenjo-daro for covering this topic. The next is the Delhi Sultanate and Mughal Empire, and it shaped the India's medieval history. Study important rulers, reforms and cultural developments. Third one is British Raj and Indian freedom struggle. British rule began after 1857 and continued till 1947, a period that transformed India politically and economically. Understand the causes of British rule, freedom movements and key national leaders. French Revolution. Link it with modern democracy and human rights movements. It ended monarchy in France and gave rise to ideas of liberty, equality, and fraternity. Indian Constitution, the Constitution of India, adopted in 1950, is the supreme law of the land. It establishes India as a sovereign, socialist, secular, and democratic republic. Know about Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, the chief architect of the Constitution. Union government and the judiciary. It has three main organs: legislature, executive, and judiciary. Understand the structure, power, and roles of each branch. Democracy and elections. In a democracy, people choose their leaders through elections. The Election Commission ensures free and fair elections. Learn about universal adult franchise and the importance of voting. Internal structures of earth. Under geography, you need to cover the earth with the three layers of crust, mantle, and core. Remember, inner core is solid, outer core is liquid. Atmosphere and solar system. It protects us from harmful radiation, and the solar system includes the sun, planets, and other celestial bodies. Remember Mercury to Neptune using any one of these short codes. Natural vegetation and water resources. It refers to plants grow without human help, and water resources includes rivers, lakes, and groundwaters. Know how deforestation and pollution affects the resources. Agriculture and industry. India's economy depends on agriculture and industry. It depends heavily on monsoon rainfall. So learn about types of farming, industrial regions, and economic balance. Population studies tells us about how many people live in an area and their distribution, literacy, and occupation. Know terms like population density, birth rate, and migration. History helps us learn from the past. Civics teaches us to be responsible citizens, and geography helps us understand our world. Together, they make social science a subject that connects people, places, and time. The next section will be the English. It will evaluate your grammar, vocabulary, and comprehension skills. The key topic includes the grammar. Grammar forms the foundation of English. You will be tested on parts of speech, tenses, and voice changes. Under tenses, you need to pay attention to time words like yesterday, today, and tomorrow, that is present, past, and the future. Active and passive voices, it focuses shifts from doer to the receiver of the action. Direct and indirect speech. Vocabulary, your word power will be tested through synonyms, antonyms, and one-word substitutions. Read daily and note new words. Vocabulary goes with practice. Idioms and phrases. These are expressions that mean more than the words themselves. Learn the meaning and usage of idioms. They often appear in comprehension question. Figures of speech. It makes the language creative and expressive. Identify which expression or image is being used. Sentence transformation and rearrangement. This tests your ability to form correct and meaningful sentences. Focus on grammar rules and logic sentence flow. Reading comprehension. This part tests your ability to read, understand, and interpret a message. Read the passage twice, once for meaning and one for detail. To excel in the English section, focus on grammar accuracy, expand your vocabulary, and practice comprehension regularly. Remember, English is just about rules, it's about clear and confident communication. For the final selection, you have a choice. You can either attempt questions from general knowledge or current affairs or from Islamic studies. In general knowledge, you will have Indian history and culture. You need to focus on major dynasties, independent movements, and cultural landmarks like classical dance festivals and monuments. Indian polity and constitution. Here you will learn how our country is governed and how the constitution works. Study the preamble, fundamental rights, duties, and structure of government. Under geography, you need to learn about continent, ocean, states, climate zone and natural resources. Science and technology developments. This section tests your awareness of scientific progress and innovations. Keep track of recent innovations, ISRO missions, Nobel Prize winners, and scientific achievements. Important national and international events. Stay updated with major events shaping India and the world. Follow daily news headlines and monthly current affairs summaries. Sports and awards. This area covers tournaments, players, and major recognitions. Know about Olympics, World Cup, national sports event, and important award winners. Books and authors. Books inspire and inform. This section checks your literary awareness. Learn popular Indian and international authors and their famous work. Famous personalities. Knowing key figures from various fields help you connect history and current events. Focus on personalities from politics, science, literature, arts and sports. International organizations. These organizations works to maintain peace, health and cooperation globally. Learn with headquarters, founding year and the key functions. To master GK and current affair, make reading a daily habit, follow newspapers, watch educational news summaries and revise monthly updates. Remember, awareness is power. The more you know, the smarter your answer will be. For Islamic studies or Diniyat, focus on the fundamentals of Islam. It's a complete way of life based on peace, submission to Allah and moral excellence. These beliefs remind us that our life has purpose and every action is accountable before Allah. The 5 pillars of Islam, the foundation of a Muslim's faith and practice. Each pillar connects us spiritually with Allah and socially with our community. Life of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, is the best example for all human mankind. To follow Prophet means to live with mercy, humility and truthfulness. Quran and Hadith. You will have selected teachings from the Quran and Hadith. The Quran and Hadith are our guide for a living righteous and balanced life in worship, family and society. Concentrate on the Islamic history and contributions towards science, arts and knowledge. These achievements remind us that seeking knowledge is an act of worship in Islam. Contemporary issues in the light of Islam. It provides timeless principles that guide us even in today's modern world. Islam is not only about rituals, it's about living ethically with kindness, balance and responsible in every situation. Islamic studies help us strengthen our faith and understand how Islam beautifully connects our worship, character and everyday life. Now that you know you need to study, let's discuss how you should study with a winning preparation strategy. Follow with the foundation of NCERT textbooks. Let's be very clear about this. Your primary and most essential resources for NTS preparation is your collection of NCERT books for class 8, 9 and 10. The questions is the SAT section are heavily based on the concepts explained in these books. Before you pick up any reference guide, make sure you thoroughly master your NCERT syllabus.